helped in the development of 6,000 additional storm shelters, although he realizes there's still a long way to go.
People in Oklahoma know more about tornadoes than anybody else in the world, and yet every year that state is impacted in horrible ways. People continue to die. So then the question is, are we done with our preparedness activities? I'd say no. And how do you know when you're done? I don't think you're ever done with it. I think you just keep evolving how you think about it.
For the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Mike Bettis.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees with light rain. Tonight, thunderstorms likely, low 73. Chance of rain, 90%. Saturday, scattered showers or thunderstorms, high 86. Chance of rain, 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Days since a hurricane slammed Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. We're just now getting an idea of what it's like to be there in the aftermath.
It's game day in America. Time for Friday Night Lightning on the Weather Channel.
6 years since a devastating tornado, we head back to a small Alabama town with a big high school football team. It's amazing to see how this team brings the town together.
And something you've never seen has been lurking in the deep blue sea. Look out, Loch Ness Monster. This thing's made today's top 5 videos. What is that?
Very peculiar looking.
This we'll find out from the Weather Channel headquarters in Atlanta. You're watching Weather Center Live. I've got a lot to talk about in the next hour, including that thing. The escape from Baja, Friday Night Lightning, and that new sea creature. I'm Dave Schwartz.
I'm Bonnie Schneider, in for Alex today. We'll get to all of that after we talk about today's big story. Texas. It's just a mess in Texas. This storm comes in from the same system that brought all the moisture, Odile. We're getting remnants of that. We have flash flood watches in place in some big cities in Texas. And Dave, I know you're keeping track of that and what we can expect as we move on into the weekend.
I do have it, Bonnie. I'll tell you what a time for us in the Southwest. Texas was in the crosshairs today, 2 different areas. There is one good piece of information, though, here. All this rain has filled up reservoirs. Look at this. You see this right here? That's extreme drought. This moderate red, just pocket. Northwest Texas, still a problem. Only 13% of the state now in an extreme drought. What an improvement, but what a nightmare for morning rush hour traveler. Bel Air, Texas, southwest side of Houston. My gosh. Well, that just, you know, in this line here that extends back to Arizona, or it did, are these little disturbances at mid-levels of the atmosphere. There's one here. Perhaps you can see the swirl. And there's also one around Houston. Those can produce hurricane force rainfall totals. 6, 8, 10 inches of rain. Flood warnings are in effect. This is Llano County, Buchanan Dam, Kingsland, and Llano. West of Austin, that's great news. That goes into the watershed that feeds Austin, Texas, and points south and east. There's that swirl I was talking about, a mesoscale convective vortex. It's dying out now, but the moist air is still here with a little sunshine, more thunder showers developing. So the flood threat is there. The ground is just saturated and flowing. 9 inches of rain fell into the Pecos River. There were those 2 disturbances. 1, 2. They're diminishing now. Still there's a trough, still some showers out here over the hill country. So be careful. Conditions have improved greatly in Houston. We're probably good through rush hour, but be careful. Some of these showers could be heavy. Now, I have a question for you. Bonnie, I want you to listen to. Have you ever heard of the I-35 curse? That's right, the I-35 curse. People in Austin sure have. And in less than 10 minutes, we'll explain what it is and why science may actually prove it to be true. Stay with us for that. Bonnie, back to you.
That'll be interesting. Well, all of the rain inundating parts of Texas comes from the remnants of, you guessed it, Odile. Brand new video to show you as we're just now starting to get communication back with people who are still stranded in Mexico. Incredible pictures. This is a look riding around Mexico. You can see people getting a look at the damage Odile caused. And this is in La Paz. That's 2 hours north of Cabo San Lucas. As we drive around, plenty of trees down, roofs opened up. It's going to take a while to assess all the damage. In the meantime, air evacuations continue today out of Baja California. Mexico's tourism secretary says 8,000 people were flown out of town just yesterday. And now at the height of the storm, there were about 30,000 tourists visiting Cabo when Odile hit. Water, electricity, and phone service is still out for much of the peninsula. The hope is that it will all be restored by the end of the weekend. But still, for thousands of people trying to get out, it's been frustrating. This has just all been a very frustrating, intense situation for the people you see here lying in the airport waiting. They just wanted a vacation. We're going to show you more of what they're going through a little bit later this half hour. Now, Baja California may not be done with tropical weather. It's hard to believe, all these storms. So we're watching Polo now that could be headed this way this weekend. Dr. Greg Postel, he's tracking it for us in the lab. So the big question, I'm sure, for people in Baja are wondering, is Polo going to take a similar track to Odile?
No, I don't think so, Bonnie. I think this one's going to head farther out to sea. Still bringing some impacts, we think, to southern Baja, say tonight and tomorrow, but nowhere near the kind that we saw with Odile. Let's have a look at the latest advisory from the Hurricane Center on Tropical Storm Polo. It's a 70-mile-per-hour tropical storm. Right now it's stationary, but I believe it's going to pick up speed and head basically in that direction, so that's good news. It's not going to go to the northwest like Odile did. This is a different scenario and a much weaker system. That's really good news. Here's what some of the models think, and this is a pretty good representation, I think, of what's going to happen. This thing is heading toward the northwest and probably come at closest approach early tomorrow afternoon to Cabo San Lucas, but be far enough away, I think, to limit the impacts to probably some rain showers and maybe some gusty winds, perhaps up to tropical storm force, which is why we have some tropical storm watches out for southern Baja. That would mean wind gusts over 40 miles per hour. But then that won't last long as the system heads out off toward the west and weakens over cooler waters and in an atmosphere that won't support it. Let's now move our attention to the eastern Gulf of Mexico. Got a lot of rain, and a lot of rain over Florida, and it is going to be a messy time of it tonight with lots of thunderstorms. And this area is part of an old frontal zone that moved into the region and some upper level disturbances that are moving along that. That's the area right in here. There was some thought a few days ago that this may turn into something tropical, that we may get some tropical development out of this. I don't think that's the case anymore. The winds aloft are just too strong to really allow that to happen. So what instead we're going to see, I think, is more of a generic development of low pressure across parts of the Gulf of Mexico, and then that will move northeastward. But regardless of what you want to call it or exactly the meteorology behind it, it's still likely to bring some rain showers and perhaps some gusty northeasterly winds across parts of the southeast coast. It's like a nor'easter in a sense that you're going to have a long fetch of northeasterly winds and kind of cruddy beach weather, I think, tomorrow. But Sunday, things should move on out. Gets a lot better by then. Guys, back to you.
Ahead on Weather Center Live, have you ever heard of the I-35 curse?
Many Texans swear by it. We'll explain what it is after your local on the 8s.
So we've had a Tempur-Pedic for a while, but now that we have the adjustable base, it's even better.
I'm gonna go up.
When I put my feet up on this bed, my stress just goes away.
Visit your local retailer and discover how Tempur-Pedic can move you.
Oh no.
Who are you?
Daddy, this is Blair. He booked this room with Priceline Express deals and saved a ton.
I got everything I wanted. I always do.
You seem nice. Huh.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that former pro football player Ickey Woods will celebrate almost anything?
Number 44.
Woo! 44, that's me! Get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts. Woo! Give me some!
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
44, ladies, that's me! Woo! Gonna get some cold cuts today.
Sunday night, only the Weather Channel drops you into nature's deadliest predicaments and asks, so you think you'd survive boating in a storm?
Oh my
God! A new original series that puts you to the test.
Oh my God!
So you think you'd survive? Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees with light rain. Tonight, thunderstorms likely. Low 73. Chance of rain 90%. Saturday, scattered showers or thunderstorms. High 86. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Only the Weather Channel takes you this far. Inside a hurricane. Hurricane 360, Mondays at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Jackie's heart attack didn't come with a warning. Today, her doctor has her on a Bayer aspirin regimen to help reduce the risk of another one. If you've had a heart attack, be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
Our pets bring out the best in us. And at Petco, we do what we can to bring out the best in them. With options like Purina Pro Plan, nutrition that performs. Now 10% off for a limited time. Because when our companions live well, so do we. Petco.
Sir, we're going to need you on the runway.
Theraflu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. Theraflu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
Here's big news for small business. Could your business use from $5,000 to $250,000? Introducing LendVantage, a free service that connects small business to big capital. Go online, complete a simple application, and you could get pre-approved for up to $250,000 in minutes. And you get the money in as fast as 1 business day after approval. LendVantage, lending small business a big advantage. Go to lendvantage.com or call 1-800-999-LEND.
Heavy rain leads to flash flooding in Houston, Texas. Expect many roads to be covered with standing water. We've heard storm reports across the area, and in fact, it's really unfortunately gotten so bad that even school buses were impacted. We've had reports that they had to turn around and change their route due to high water. A bad situation for Texas because it's not over yet. We're monitoring rain across the Galveston area. Houston looking okay right now, but don't expect it to stay like that for the weekend. In fact, there are some flash flood warnings in place for a couple areas in Texas, and you can see that these go until 3:30 p.m. Across the state we go, and we have another advisory that we're watching near the Midland area, and this one also important to keep in mind that we're watching this until 5 o'clock. So still the potential for flooding for those of you that are planning to head on the roads after 5 o'clock. You'll be impacted by some heavier downpours. Almost 6 inches of rain in some areas. So you can only imagine the flood threat persists for this region. We're looking at quite a bit of accumulation. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And the forecast does call for rain throughout the weekend and a dangerous flooding situation for this region. Dave?
All right, thanks, Bonnie. Well, Austin, Texas is a 3-hour drive from Houston, and it's home to an interesting weather myth. Now, while myths and legends are common in the weather world, this one may actually have the science to support it. Carl Parker explains the I-35 curse.
Floodwaters ripped through Austin, Texas this week. just like they did in 2013 and 2011. You'd think that would be good news for a city fighting their worst drought in recorded history.
We're just that one big rainstorm away, and everything will be okay.
But you'd be wrong. This water is long gone.
The majority of that water all drained into the Colorado River here in Austin and then has gone downstream. It's headed toward the Gulf of Mexico.
Locals call it the I-35 curse.
Many times we'll see storms develop along the I-35 corridor, along the escarpment, and then track to the east. So areas from I-35 eastward tend to get a lot of rain, where areas to the west don't get as much.
Austin needs that rain to fall west of I-35 and fill their lakes. When it falls to the east of 35, it's gone.
I think one of the images that's most scary to me is the trickle of flow that's coming into Buchanan that literally is the water supply for 1 million people.
But is there really a curse?
It's not quite that simple.
John Nielsen Gammon is the Texas state climatologist.
That's the place where basically the terrain in Texas starts becoming interesting. You go from fairly flat coastal plains to what we call the Texas Hill Country. And so there's an extra bit of uplift for any air that's moving from the southeast.
The I-35 corridor really parallels what's called the Balcones Escarpment, and that's sort of a gentle rise in the landscape of about 300 to 500 feet.
500 feet, separating millions of people from valuable drinking water.
It's hard to argue with science and the results. This is the heavy rain event Thursday. Now you can see I-35 running through Austin and just how much rain fell east of the interstate. Now to add insult to injury, as we zoom in, those dark orange shades are the heaviest rain just south of drought-stricken Lake Travis. Right now, the majority of that rainwater is quickly making its way down into the Gulf of Mexico and not to the taps of the people in Austin who really need it. Now here's a graphic that shows you how much rain has fallen since January 1st. The yellow and the oranges indicate the heaviest rain, and look where that is in Texas. Houston, all the way up to Palestine, southeast Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. But right here, that's that escarpment those guys were talking about, the rise in the topography, and then we begin to dry out. But this week, the I-35 curse has not worked. Look at the rain to the north and west of Austin. That will get to the taps that need it. Bonnie, back to you.
Thanks, Dave. Riding out Hurricane Odile was just the first step for people still stranded in Baja.
Sometimes the best used car on the road is the one you're still using. Right now, get $50 off a standard brake service, including a lifetime parts guarantee at Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Life insurance? What is that? It's like hugging your kid butt with money. It's something that you can get from somewhere. It makes you indestructible, like a superhero. I'd love to be a superhero. It's so you can come back to life, I think.
There's a lot of confusion about life insurance. Get simple answers from a State Farm agent, backed by the life insurance company millions of moms and dads already trust.
It gives my dad a piece of his mind.
We put the life back in life insurance.
Maybe you didn't know, people with the flu can spread it up to 6 feet away. Or that flu can make chronic conditions worse. Maybe you didn't know any of the stuff your Rite Aid pharmacist knows. But now that you've gotten your flu shot at Rite Aid, maybe you don't need to.
When you see everyone in America, almost every day, you notice a few things. Like the fact that you are pretty attached to these. Okay, really attached. And that's all right, because we'll text you when your package is on the way. We're even expanding Sunday package delivery. Yes, Sunday. At the U.S. Postal Service, our priority is, was, and always will be you.
You guys are good to go? Let me just get this out here. Unlike some places, we don't just change your oil. Our oil offer comes with a 4-tire rotation and a 27-point inspection. And everything looked great.
Actually, could you leave those in?
Sure. Want me to run them through the car wash for you, too? No, I can't.
Get our everyday price match guarantee plus a $100 rebate on 4 select tires from your tire experts. Chevy Certified Service.
Sunday night, only the Weather Channel drops you into nature's deadliest predicaments and asks, so you think you'd survive boating in a storm? A new original series that...
Mom and Dad told us they had just made their funeral and burial prearrangements. We thought they already had taken care of that. When we learned it was through Beth Israel and Eternal Light, we knew everything would be handled in the most caring and professional way. We realized it would be one of the most difficult days of our lives. It inspired my husband and me to make our own prearrangements so the burden wouldn't fall on our children when that day comes. It's not an easy thing to think about, but I'm so glad we did.
The performance review, that corporate trial by fire when every slacker gets his due. And yet, there's someone around the office who hasn't had a performance review in a while. Someone whose poor performance is slowing down the entire organization. I'm looking at you, phone company DSL.
Go to ComcastBusiness.com/check-your-speed. If we can't offer faster speeds or save you money, we'll give you $150. Comcast Business. Built for business.
$19 and Ray-Ban sunglasses for just $85.
See why the buzz on Fat Guys in the Woods, the Weather Channel's hit survival series, is getting bigger and bigger. Victory! A new episode Sunday night at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees with a thunderstorm. Tonight, thunderstorms likely, low 73. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain, 80%. Saturday, scattered showers or thunderstorms. High 86. Chance of rain, 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Time for a look at the tropics, and we're getting some heavy rain expected along the coast of North and South Carolina, and maybe even Georgia and Florida tomorrow. It's not in a circle, as you can see here, but there's a lot of rain moving across Florida today and tonight, and low pressure is going to develop out to the east of the state, head right up the east coast. Not quite a tropical system, but there could be some tropical rains and some dangerous surf in there. Aside from that, in the tropics, a tropical storm winding down to a death out here over the North Atlantic. Something's just moved off of Africa. We'll have about a week and a half or 2 weeks to follow that, should it make its way all the way over to the Western Hemisphere. And then here in the Pacific, near Central America and Mexico, a couple of things to talk about. First, there's this. This is a tropical storm, a strong one, but notice these feathery clouds that are shooting out to the south and west. You don't see those on the northeast side of it. This is being sheared apart by strong upper-level winds. The center of the circulation is actually probably right over there and will be exposed here shortly. This is a weakening tropical storm Julio. Since it's still southeast of Cabo San Lucas that was raked over the coals last Sunday night, we're going to pay extra attention to this. At this point, the worst of this, and it may not be all that worse, 50 miles an hour tomorrow morning, 40 miles per hour by Sunday morning. Some of those gale force wind gusts might make it to Cabo San Lucas. That's it. Otherwise, some high surf. Heavy rain? No. Showers? Possible. And then by Monday, it's out of here completely. Will it be another ordeal? No. But a tropical storm watch is in effect. Back to you, Bonnie.
Well, here's the latest this hour as thousands try to escape Baja. This is day 6 of the disaster there. Right now, the U.S. State Department is urging people to get to Los Cabos International Airport and just wait as long as it takes to get out. Mexican police are responding to looting, saying they will aggressively enforce the law. And there's reports of Mexican residents boarding planes to the U.S. fearing danger and Odile unrest. Well, it's been 5 days since Odile actually made landfall in Cabo San Lucas. Because of the damage to the infrastructure of the city and the lack of power and cell service, we're just now getting for the first time a look at some incredible pictures out of the devastation there. The most intense moments during the storm, well, that's something that people there say they will never forget. And then the days after have been just as harrowing. Storm chaser Josh Morgerman shares his experience watching the damage firsthand from a hotel to seeing the chaos and confusion of many trying to escape the wrath of Odile.
The place is totally crippled. Just no communication, no gas, no power, no nothing. And American tourists and actually others are desperate. Actually, a lot of Mexicans as well are desperate to get out of the city. Crazy traffic jams. There's very few opportunities. Now we're waiting here in the parking lot of our hotel for taxis that are heading up to La Paz, another city which was hit. Treacherous crossing. Hopefully one of the last, but who knows. Our journey to La Paz. We've heard mixed rumors. Some people say it's worse. Some people say it's better than here. We'll find out. Whoa, near miss with that power pole. And the roads collapsed here, so unfortunately we did not try to drive on that.
La Paz was also hit hard, but not quite as hard because the hurricane had been traveling over land, so we figured it didn't take the full force the way Los Cabos did. So we got up to La Paz. A lot of other people had the same idea as us, and it was just basically loaded with American and foreign tourists desperately trying to get out.
Does not look good. A desperate attempt to get handwritten tickets to get to Tijuana. It's just
a lot of tourist families with kids stuck in that airport for 24, 48 hours, sleeping on the floor. Getting pretty ugly when we got out of there, and we just hope that everyone's getting out because it just became an increasingly dire situation.
People just frustrated trying to get out.
I would like to spend a week in an airport in the tropics with no air conditioning.
Right, especially when you were going there for a vacation.
Right. Well, we're getting new looks at the flooding in Houston. That's where the big show was this morning.
Plus, it's time for Friday Night Lightning. Stay with us. We'll introduce you to a brand new team.
This Halloween calls for untamed fruit flavor. Jolly Rancher.
No matter the weather, add excitement to your day with Jolly Rancher.
People all over the world know us, but they don't yet know we're a family. We're right where you need us. At the next job, next adventure, or at the next exit. Helping you explore super destinations and do everything under the sun. 12 brands, more hotels than anyone else in the world. So wherever you want to be, whatever you want to do, chances are we're already there. Save up to 25% and earn bonus points when you book at WyndhamRewards.com.
You're finally here. Long way from the Sandlot. First game in the majors? You don't know ARP, because this family is enjoying a cross-country baseball stadium trip they planned online at AARP Travel. It's where your journey begins with inspiration, planning, booking, and hot travel tips from real pros. If you don't think seize the trip when you think AARP, then you don't know ARP. Find more surprising possibilities and get to know us at aarp.org/possibilities.
California is known for its grapes, and so is my family. Our grapes ripen on the vine where the flavor's fully developed to bring the best quality fruit to your table. That's why we work with Walmart, so you get the freshest grapes available, backed by their 100% money-back guarantee.
Let's do some fancy footwork. Tap into new territory with style. Step up the savings and learn some new moves. Yeah, let's tango. Here, even here. Then, let's take a bow. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Modern tile, major savings. 12 by 24 ceramic tile is now just $148 per square foot.
Sir, we're going to need you on the runway.
Theraflu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. Theraflu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
At KFC, we make the world's best chicken using the same original recipe since 1940. It's a very special process. We dip it and shake it 7 times. We hand bread it 7 times. We rock it 7 times. Now you may be wondering, why all the 7s? Because it's a lucky number? Jackpot.
Sunday night, only the Weather Channel drops you into nature's deadliest predicaments and asks, so you think you'd survive boating in a storm?
Oh my
God! A new original series that puts you to the test.
Oh my God!
So you think you'd survive? Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees with a thunderstorm. Tonight, thunderstorms likely, low 73. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain 80%. Saturday, scattered showers or thunderstorms. High 86. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, premiering October 5th on the Weather Channel.
Pictures to show you a flooding in Houston, a postal truck being stuck in the water. Oh boy. Hope the mail gets in safely.
Yeah,
and the
right.
mailman too.
Neither flooding, aren't they supposed to get the mail
true.
through? Oh, somebody's getting the mail through.
That's how they're doing it.
Yeah.
Well, Texas certainly getting it right now. Some major cities up north, well, they're in for severe weather over the weekend.
And we're talking about Minneapolis, Detroit, very possible. It's warming up there now a little bit, but then it's going to cool off with the passage of this front.
Let's take a live look at Minneapolis from our affiliate KARE 11. It looks like overcast skies, but some changes ahead, as you mentioned.
That's right. And to the west of there, out in Fargo, it's 86 degrees right now.
86 in Fargo. Wow, they're really getting that last blast of summer. Well, you know, we're also monitoring the threat for severe weather over the weekend. Let's get right to Dr. Forbes, who has more on that.
There will be a cold front that will move from the northern plains all the way up into the parts of the northeast by Sunday. It will have some severe weather with it, primarily spotty, damaging wind gusts. Here is that cold front where it's forecasted to be this evening. Warm, moist air coming northbound ahead of that. The storms may wait till evening and overnight in these red shaded areas because there's a little bit of warm air aloft that might inhibit them. But anywhere overnight from Omaha to Des Moines to Madison and Green Bay could get some of those spotty, damaging wind gusts. Then as we head into Saturday, that cold front continues eastbound. Now, some of those overnight storms may actually get into some of the areas ahead of the front, Illinois, Michigan, and maybe even be some severe weather in the morning hours, and then give way as some of the sun comes out and warm, moist air continues to pour northeast ahead of that frontal zone, such that we may get a second round that comes in, probably a stronger round in the afternoon and early evening. Low-level jet, pretty much the same direction as the surface wind, so not a huge tornado threat, but a strong upper-level jet stream blasting toward the area with some cold pockets aloft from the northwest might give a chance of a tornado or two, as well as some damaging winds. In fact, back under that cold pocket, Minnesota, Wisconsin, I haven't drawn red, but there could be some spotty hail. The damaging wind threat from Michigan down into the Chicago area, down into the Kansas City area, and I have given a torque-on there of 30% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of north and central Illinois. As we head into Sunday, then, severe threat pushes into parts of upstate New York, down into parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. Again, spotty damaging winds, the main threat. Back to you.
We'll be keeping close watch on that threat and others for the weekend. How about a coastal system? Remember, it's the final weekend of summer, so anything coastal is a problem because you want to probably get to the beach while you still can. But looking at our visible satellite along the west coast of Florida, not a good beach day. Our radar reflects that as well. We've got heavy downpours sweeping in from the Gulf, riding along a stationary front. So Tampa, you're in the thick of it right now. Fort Myers getting a breather, but not for long. As we can see, there's more showers, definitely some heavier rain actually coming into the Fort Myers area and all along the coastal area. But it's not just the west coast of Florida, the center of the state and South Florida too. We've got a stationary front that's going to linger. That's not a good thing. That'll keep things unsettled for the weekend. And watching the jet stream, that's only going to enhance the system, giving it some lift, a little kick in the action. So we'll see more thunderstorms. As low pressure develops offshore, the beaches of the South Carolina areas, I'd say towards Savannah and Georgia, you're going to also see stormy conditions. Eventually, this low will move up to the northeast and impact the weather there. But in the meantime, we are looking at stormy conditions all along this region of the southeast. Just in time for the last weekend of summer. Hopefully, maybe the first weekend of fall, you'll get better weather. We hope so. Dave?
Hey, thanks, Bonnie. And with it being the last weekend of summer, let's get out there and do something amazing, amazingly wonderful and fun. Well, we picked out one spot. It's Greenville, Mississippi. Now, you may not have heard of that. It happens to be the hometown of Stein Mart clothing shops, and it's also home to the Mississippi Delta Blues Festival and Heritage Festival that takes place essentially on Saturday. Now, there have been events all week, and we've got the Nelson Street Fair going on just a half an hour from now, so have a wonderful time. Make sure you're drinking plenty of fluids, non-alcoholic fluids, please, to stay hydrated. It's 88 there now. We're expecting high in the low 90s with sunshine this weekend. What about the rest of the country, Bonnie? What's the weekend look like?
Well, Dave, as Mississippi enjoys temperatures in the 90s, very much feeling like summer. Some other places, not so much. We are looking for changes out there in your forecast for the weekend. And starting you off with Saturday's weather, we are going to see the threat for severe weather. Where is that? Well, unfortunately, it's going to be right in the Midwest. For Chicago, those thunderstorms could be intense at times. Southwest, you're looking at more rain. We've been talking about Texas. That's an area to keep watch on. And then the Northeast, feeling nice in the 70s for Saturday. It's only going to get hotter from there for Sunday. Temperatures in the 80s for parts of the Northeast on Sunday. But there's the storm system. So we're watching for some strong storms into Cleveland, Buffalo, all the way to West Virginia. So widespread area with a threat for severe weather to keep in mind. And then we've got that moisture, and it's impacting a good portion of the West for Sunday as well. So depending on where you are, you're going to get some great weather or some storms. Something to keep close watch on here on the Weather Channel all weekend. We'll keep you informed. Dave?
All right, let's play ball. This football season, we're bringing you 12 towns, 12 weeks. And today we head south to Prattville, Alabama. Now, Prattville was listed as one of the top 10 best high school football towns in America by College Stats. Now, these days, Prattville Lions are the team to beat in Autauga County, Alabama. But as Jim Cantore tells us, it wasn't always that way.
About the middle of July, when one of those afternoon showers come through and you can feel a nip in the air, and your baseball team's in last place, and you say, oh man, it's football time.
Prattville, Alabama, a slice of Americana just outside of Montgomery. Very few remnants remain of the EF3 tornado that cut through here 6 years ago. What you can see is the town's love for football. Come Friday night, all eyes turn to Prattville High School, home of the Prattville Lions.
It's so strong within the town, how much they love football. It's just amazing.
I've been in the playoffs before where we show up at a playoff game and we have more fans than the home team in a playoff game.
Each week you'll see pep rallies, posters of opposing players, and busloads of fans.
They love football in this town. They always have.
But few love it more than longtime sports writer and statistician Jimmy White.
No. There's a lot of them that love football as much as I do. It's just that I've been with them so much.
Jimmy never played sports, but he's recorded the stats for the Lions for more than 60 of their 100 seasons.
Jimmy White, he's been on the sidelines forever. I can remember him being on our sidelines when I played, and even before that.
A
love to be a part of like a big team, and like on Friday nights, like I can care less, you know, how many catches I get. As long as we win, that's all I'm happy about.
For 70 years, the state championship had eluded the Prattville Lions until 1984.
And we walked out on that field. This was the first Saturday in December, and it was like it was springtime. The sun was out, and it was beautiful. It wasn't cold or nothing. I said, this is our day. And we won 17-7. And the time we got back to Prattville, downtown Prattville looked like it had snowed. There was so much confetti and signs all over it. State champs. That was a good time. First one. The first one.
Since then, the Lions have won 4 more state championships. And Jimmy is still on the sidelines recording their stats.
It's a nostalgic feeling, really and truly, to watch. And I see a kid playing, I said, golly, I remember his daddy playing. And it makes you realize the shortness of life. Makes you feel a little bit happy. A little bit like you accomplished something. All those years, it's been great to be from Prattville.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, thunderstorms likely. Low 73. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain 80%. Saturday, scattered showers or thunderstorms. High 86. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This is our new turkey cranberry flatbread before we craft it into a sandwich. The amazingly tender roasted turkey, always raised without antibiotics. The zesty cranberry mostarda. The freshly baked flatbread. But here's what you don't always see. The care and attention that goes into it. Because what matters most is the simple, delicious ingredients that make up the whole delicious meal made just for you. And this is our turkey cranberry flatbread sandwich paired perfectly with our autumn squash soup. Only at Panera Bread.
It's a great day to try Panera Bread's Fuji Apple Chicken Salad.
If you have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis like me, and you're talking to your rheumatologist about a biologic, this is Humira. This is Humira helping to relieve my pain. This is Humira helping me lay the groundwork. This is Humira helping to protect my joints from further damage. Doctors have been prescribing Humira for 10 years. Humira works by targeting and helping to block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to RA symptoms. Humira is proven to help relieve pain and stop further joint damage in many adults.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Take the next step. Talk to your doctor and visit Humira.com. This is Humira at work.
In case of an emergency, I can always use my Lifeline cell phone to call for help.
SafeLink, the free phone program, free cell, free text, and free minutes is your connection to safety. If you qualify for programs such as SNAP, you are eligible for 250 free minutes and 1,000 free texts each month. Plus, new customers apply now and get 500 minutes for the first 3 months.
With SafeLink, my family can feel secure when I am alone.
Call 1-800-SafeLink or visit safelink.com.
See this? It shows the pressure points at my tired, achy feet.
I had no clue I was putting this kind of stress on my feet.
I have flat feet. I found this out at the free Dr. Scholl's Foot Mapping Center at Walmart. In less than 2 minutes, I got my foot map and my custom number. I'm a 440.
I'm a 210.
340. That number matched the Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotic inserts with just the right support to help relieve stress on my feet. I'm a believer.
Go to drscholl's.com for locations and save $10.
What makes a good business a great one? Capital. Larry King for LendVantage, a free service that connects small business to big capital and can help your business get from $5,000 to $250,000. Go online, complete a simple application, and you could get pre-approved for up to $250,000 in minutes. And you can get the money in as fast as 1 business day after approval. Go to LendVantage.com or call 1-800-999-LEND.
According to the U.S. Department of Energy, most homes have air leaks and drafts that waste so much energy, it's like leaving a window open in your home all year long. Think about what that does to your energy bill. Don't let another year go by. Call Champion Windows at 844-4CHAMPION. New Champion Windows can help transform your home into one that's both energy efficient and comfortable. At Champion, we design, build, install, and guarantee our windows right here in the USA. And here's your window of opportunity. Call 844-4CHAMPION right now, and Champion will give you $2,000 off a whole house of windows. Plus, Champion now offers no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. So call 844-4CHAMPION now and upgrade your home today. Because every home needs a champion.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us. I'm Sam Champion, and welcome to the Weather Channel. It's Friday, September 23rd, 2050.
Well, you've seen our video looking into the future. Now the world reacts. Monday at 7 p.m., the Weather Channel combines our resources, knowledge, and forecasting ability to address what the world's weather will be like decades from now. Weather 2050, a special edition of Weather Center Live. And this is Weather Center Live 2014. And this is a look along the I-95 corridor. A gorgeous day, huh? In Washington, D.C., Boston, and in Bonnie's hometown, New York City, huh?
I feel like I have 2 hometowns since I went to college in Boston, but they're both looking good, busy in New York. You can see Times Square. Temperatures are going to warm up, then cool down. It's the last weekend of summer. So a lot of people are saying, okay, maybe it's summer on the calendar, but it already feels like fall where I am, right?
And it's such a roller coaster. Yesterday at this time in Boston, it was 71. Well, it's 54 there now, 17-degree turnaround.
And some people this morning woke up to temperatures in the 20s and 30s. That's right, in the 20s and 30s, even in summertime, like we can see in northern Vermont, New Hampshire, and even in upstate New York, Watertown, just above freezing, barely 33.
And on top of Mount Washington, it was 14 this morning. Even now, we're only in the 50s. Boston being one of the cool spots, and Binghamton, they're the hot shots with Rochester, low 60s.
So, you know, we're watching for the weather pattern to change. That's one of the reasons it'll start to get warm. But in the meantime, with high pressure over the northeast, temperatures were really cool. Clear skies overnight allowed those temperatures to just plummet.
But these clouds out to the west in association with a cold front, which means high pressure slides off the east coast. Winds turn southerly, and rather than cooler tomorrow, it's going to be warmer tomorrow.
That southerly flow is making all the difference because temperatures will soar into the 80s in some places by Sunday.
Isn't that something? Then on Monday, it's going to cool down, and Monday night, that's when fall officially begins.
It's almost like Mother Nature said, we're going to give you one more blast of summer.
Yeah, one little taste. And then I'll tell you, behind this quote-unquote cold front, the temperature is going to be pretty mild. It's in the 70s in Montana right now. So the cold air that's being scoured out right now in New England tonight and tomorrow is not going to return for a while.
That is so true. We're watching the calendar change, but we're doing something we do here every day. It's time for our top 5 videos, where we take a look at all of the amazing weather videos from around the world.
So let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. Number 5, time lapse captured from the National Weather Service Reno office. That is smoke heading in your direction, and it's on you at this point. Smoke from the King Fire moved right into downtown Reno yesterday, and people with respiratory problems sure felt it.
That's true. And number 4. 4, southeastern New Mexico, hit with serious flash flooding, and this is near Ruidoso. More than 3 inches fell just in the last 2 days, and look, 3 inches of rain. Look at what that does in that area.
Where there are mountains and valleys, that water flows, huh? And look at this. Man, these people are in danger for their lives with the water moving that fast. That can sweep you away. These people are very lucky not to have been hurt. Tropical storm Mario put down all this rain in the Philippines.
And number 2, we have new video of a creature, a rare deep sea creature known as the siphonophore. I mean, how did they come up with these names? It's not just one animal, it's a living colony made up of many individual organisms working together. A very interesting looking creature.
Some people think that we're made up of, there's a kidney, and that's a whole world, and a liver, and all cooperating together. Here's number 1 video, definitely the best video of the day, the removal of the Glines Canyon Dam on the Elwha River in Olympic National Park, Western Washington. Now that's a dam. That's like hundreds of feet high. It looks like it's just like a little something on the corner, doesn't it?
It sure does.
I didn't get
These are great videos. We want to hear from you. Send us your videos. You can upload them at weather.com/photos.
Perfect. Up next, we'll have a look at the tropical update. Another tropical storm.
You can search hotel sites for so long that your hair goes out of style. Or use Kayak to search hundreds of hotel sites to find the best deal in seconds. Kayak. Search one and done.
Lowe's presents how to make your guests think they're at the wrong house.
Told you we're in the wrong house.
Go. Mom!
Get 15% off in-stock Level blinds. Plus, have them cut to width for free.
Sir, we're going to need you on the runway.
Theraflu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. Theraflu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
I'm Creek Stewart, Weather Channel survival expert. Every Sunday night, we're taking 3 regular guys deep into the woods.
Are you serious?
Where we'll teach them not just to survive,
make fire,
but how to truly live.
Look at this caveman.
Show yourself what you're made of on Weather Channel Survival Sundays. At 9, it's So You Think You'd Survive. Then at 10, Fat Guys in the Woods. Every Sunday night on the Weather Channel.
Are you ready?
Off the couch, into the weather.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, thunderstorms likely. Low 73. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain 80%. Saturday, scattered showers or thunderstorms. High 86. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
People all over the world know us, but they don't yet know we're a family. We're right where you need us. At the next job, next adventure, or at the next exit. Helping you explore super destinations and do everything under the sun. 12 brands, more hotels than anyone else in the world. So wherever you want to be, whatever you want to do, chances are we're already there. Save up to 25% and earn bonus points when you book at WyndhamRewards.com.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
We're almost there. If your bladder is calling the shots, you may have a medical condition called overactive bladder, or OAB.
Again? But we just went.
Ask your doctor about Myrbetriq, Mirabegron, to treat the OAB symptoms of urgency, frequency, and leakage.
Seriously? It's time to go to the doctor.
Myrbetriq is the first and only medicine in its class for OAB.
Myrbetriq may increase your blood pressure. Myrbetriq may increase your chances of not being able to empty your bladder. Tell your doctor right away if you have trouble emptying your bladder or have a weak urine stream. Myrbetriq may affect or be affected by other medications. So tell your doctor about all the medicines you take. Before taking Myrbetriq, tell your doctor if you have liver or kidney problems. Common side effects include increased blood pressure, common cold symptoms, urinary tract infection, and headache.
If you're overactive...
The world you've been waiting for is here. Come and live it. Amazing memories are within reach at a Universal Orlando Resort Hotel. Universal Orlando Resort. Vacation like you mean it.
At the Watershed, we believe in recovery. We believe that every alcoholic and addict deserves the opportunity to be healed. Our team of addiction professionals will address the underlying causes of your addiction while treating you with dignity and respect. We've helped thousands of patients recover from this seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. Addicts can recover. Addicts do recover. No matter how hopeless the situation seems, the time to get help is now. Call the Watershed today.
And shipping is always free.
Visit DealDash.com and start bidding today.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, premiering October 5th on the Weather Channel.
Time now for our tropical update. I'm in the lab now with Dr. Greg Postel, and we are watching quite a few areas to be concerned. Certainly Polo, another concern for Baja.
Yeah, good news is this one is not as strong as Odile and probably on a different track, which is great news for southern Baja. It's a 70-mile-per-hour tropical storm, and I don't think it's going to get any stronger than that. And it's kind of on a train that's going to take it out over the water. That's all good news.
So the track is taking it away in the next couple of days, but we do see a little bit of rain from it.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. There will be some peripheral impacts, we think, in, for example, Cabo San Lucas and parts of southern Baja from the close approach of Polo. Maybe by midday tomorrow Eastern time, there may be some wind gusts to 30 to 40 miles per hour and some rain showers. That's the way it looks now, but the core of this is going to stay well off shore and out to sea, and then weakening quickly, probably by late Sunday.
That's really good news for the people that are stranded there, and also for the structures that have already been damaged. We want to get that storm out of there with not too much wind. But another place, you know, it's the final weekend of summer, so these are popular beach destinations, Charleston and Savannah, but it doesn't look too great out there right now.
No, kind of muddy beach weather. You know, it's cloudy with an east wind. It's not. I don't think it's very nice out here right now, unless you like that kind of weather.
You like the east wind.
Right? Unless you like the east wind. Jen Carpenter and I have a problem with that one. But anyway,
I like it.
Charleston, Savannah, Jacksonville, we have off and on showers. That's just for now. I think these are going to get more widespread as we head over the next couple of days, because we're going to have a coastal low pressure system develop. There was some thought that maybe a couple of days ago that there would be along this frontal zone this weekend some kind of tropical development. Sometimes it can happen, but this time I don't think it's going to be that way.
So it's not, that's good, it's not tropical development, but it still is enough moisture to cause some concern for people that are planning a beach trip.
Yeah, right. I mean, look at the timestamp here during the midday Friday, or Saturday, excuse me. We're going to have low pressure here moving parallel to the coast with a northeasterly wind, kind of cloudy skies, rain showers off and on, northeast wind, really not all that nice. But then Sunday, everything moves away, the skies clear out, good beach day.
Good, so Sunday is your beach day. Yeah. Plan accordingly. So much extreme weather to keep track of, including Odile. Dave has more on that.
Right, you are, Bonnie. All this week, we've shown you disastrous impacts from Hurricane Odile's wrath in Baja California. Now, it's been a struggle for tens of thousands of tourists who were there on vacation who are now stranded to get back home. Well, one of them was actress and supermodel Angie Everhart. This morning on AMHQ, she shared her incredible story of her vacation that turned into a nightmare overnight.
We were very lucky. We made it actually out on one of the very first planes. When right after the hurricane, we had opened up our house and we saw one of the planes going by, and I said to my fiance, I was like, we're going to the airport right now. When it first started, it started off because we were in a house. They evacuated us to a house that was right on the beach, but it was a really big fortified house that had a generator, but it was actually on the beach, so it was pretty scary. The water was actually hitting the pool right outside our window. And when it started about 9 o'clock, but about 1 o'clock in the morning, the wind was blowing so hard that the doors, which were about 11 feet tall, were blowing in and out about 3 feet. And my fiance, who's about 200 and some pounds, was holding the doors, and they were pulling him in and out. They took 2 men to hold the doors, so they were barricading the doors. They were breaking chairs and sticking sticks inside the doors. The destruction was unbelievable. I mean, my bathroom window exploded, and we had shards of glass that were in the wooden frame. The storm was it caused so much devastation that to get to from where we were to get to the airport was normally about 15 minutes. It took us over an hour to get to the airport because you had to drive. I mean, you were driving over power lines. There were things power lines were down all over the place. The energy plants, the 2 that were in the area, blew up completely.
Wow. Now the focus moves from Mexico to Texas.
That's true. We're going to tell you about a legend as big as Texas, the I-35 curse. That's next on the Weather Center Live with Kelly Cass and Paul Goodlow.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, thunderstorms likely, low 73. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain 80%. Saturday, scattered showers or thunderstorms. High 86. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The flooding is widespread in the Houston metro, up to 8 inches of rain in 24 hours as streets become streams. And we're not even done yet. How much more to expect across the Lone Star State tonight?
And your first warning about a potential stormy weekend. Severe weather for Kansas City, Chicago, even Detroit. What you need to know and how bad it could be. From the Weather Channel headquarters in Atlanta, you're watching Weather Center Live.
Well, the Postal Service always said they'll deliver in any kind of weather, but you know what? The flooding in Houston sure isn't making it very easy this afternoon and evening.
Neighborhoods under several feet of water, roads blocked, and now school buses stuck, unable to get some of the kids home. Well, it has been a terrible day in many Texas counties. No way to start the last weekend of summer. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. I'm Paul Goodlow.
And I'm Kelly Cass. You know, they say everything is bigger in Texas. Well, that includes the moisture content in the air right now, but not all of it is because of the remnants of that tropical system Odile. In fact, let me show you what I'm talking about, because we are looking at quite a bit of rainfall, not just from the tropical system, but because we have a frontal boundary that is currently draped across the area as well. And you can see Houston's actually getting a little bit of a break right now, so that's good to see. But you can see some heavier downpours kind of floating in around Beaumont and Port Arthur, and we've also seen some rain not too far from College Station, and a lot of lightning with these storms too, so watch out for that. So again, there is a frontal boundary in our vicinity, and that is focusing the showers and thunderstorms that are slow movers, and that's really been the other problem, the fact that these storms develop and then they don't really get out of our neighborhood in time to for the drainage areas to catch up. You can see Austin also catching a break in the recent terms, but you can see a storm just starting to pop up just west of you. We've also got some rain just to the west of Brady, around Fredericksburg. We've had quite a bit of rainfall as well over the last 12 hours. You can see that darker green indicating where we've had more than 1/4 of an inch. And then we get into West Texas, and this is courtesy of the moisture left over from Odile, which hit Mexico. Yes, all that moisture continues to flow up into New Mexico and the western part of Texas. Flash flood warning in effect there just to the west of San Angelo. And take that seriously. Flash flooding is a huge concern. It claims lives every year. Unfortunately, it doesn't take much to float your car and have you go out of control. So you can see the water vapor imagery showing you all that moisture, not the orange area, but certainly the gray and the purples. That indicates where the moisture is in the atmosphere, and all that moisture right along that stalled out front. That's why we're seeing those heavy downpours across this area. And it looks like it will continue on into the weekend and on even into Monday as well, with that moist flow both from the east and from the west from those tropical systems in the Pacific. So with an upper level disturbance right over the Red River Valley, that means trouble as far as trying to get around I-35. And you'll see that we've got rain in the forecast across West Texas tomorrow, and more rain as we head into Sunday as well. Paul?
Despite all the rain in the forecast and all the rain that's fallen this week in Central Texas, many people say they are cursed. Rain desperately needed to fill up lakes for drinking water west of Austin. Well, it seems to fall on the wrong side of the interstate. Find out why. There's some science to support the I-35 curse. That's coming up at 30 minutes past the hour. Well, a powerful cold front is now diving south and could spark some thunderstorms, strong and severe, across the Midwest this weekend. Hail and wind appear to be the biggest threats right now. And our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, is in the lab with the areas at risk of storms tonight, tomorrow, and also Sunday.
There will be a cold front that will move from the northern plains all the way up into the parts of the northeast by Sunday. It will have some severe weather with it, primarily spotty, damaging wind gusts. Here is that cold front where it's forecasted to be this evening. Warm, moist air coming northbound ahead of that. The storms may wait till evening and overnight in these red shaded areas because there's a little bit of warm air aloft that might inhibit them. But anywhere overnight from Omaha to Des Moines to Madison and Green Bay could get some of those spotty, damaging wind gusts. Then as we head into Saturday, that cold front continues eastbound. Now, some of those overnight storms may actually get into some of the areas ahead of the front, Illinois, Michigan, and maybe even be some severe weather in the morning hours, and then give way as some of the sun comes out and warm, moist air continues to pour northeast ahead of that frontal zone, such that we may get a second round that comes in, probably a stronger round in the afternoon and early evening. Low-level jet, pretty much the same direction as the surface wind, so not a huge tornado threat, but a strong upper-level jet stream blasting toward the area with some cold pockets aloft from the northwest might give a chance of a tornado or two, as well as some damaging winds. In fact, back under that cold pocket, Minnesota, Wisconsin, I haven't drawn red, but there could be some spotty hail. The damaging wind threat from Michigan down into the Chicago area, down into the Kansas City area, and I have given a torque-on there of 30% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of north and central Illinois. As we head into Sunday, then, severe threat pushes into parts of upstate New York, down into parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. Again, spotty damaging winds, the main threat. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Dr. Forbes. Well, let's head to the southeast right now. In Florida, the Sunshine State, not a lot of sun today, all thanks to this area. We're trying to see a broad area low pressure develop. And is it something tropical? We're going to talk about that with Michael Lowry coming up at 20 past. But all this moisture is slowly feeding into Florida. In fact, take a look at this map here. This is the radar estimate of how much rainfall has fallen over the last, say, 12 hours or so. And we're starting to see all the greens and reds and yellows. They're starting to slowly creep towards the west coast of Florida. That's because all that rain there in the Gulf of Mexico is slowly making its way towards the Sunshine State and will be there tonight, tomorrow, and slowly pushing out on Sunday. So the radar is still showing widely scattered showers in Central Florida. South Florida got some plans. Miami, South Beach, maybe even Fort Lauderdale. A kind of batch of thunderstorms coming through. That's pushing offshore. But out towards western Florida, once again, more rain showers. And definitely a soggy evening, a longer commute for you on Friday. Right now, Clearwater Beach, not the best of beach days in the forecast. Calls for thunderstorms right into next week. Kelly?
Paul, it's the last weekend before fall officially begins next week, and it looks wet and stormy for some folks, including Chicago, which Dr. Forbes just pinpointed. But what about the rest of the country? We are taking you coast to coast with your weekend forecast and beyond, plus this. Chaos chaos and confusion after Hurricane Odile hits Baja California. Next, our inside look at the airport.
What if there was a credit card where the reward was that new car smell and the freedom of the open road? A card that gave you that I'm 16 and just got my first car feeling. Presenting the Buy Power card from Capital One. Redeem earnings toward part or even all of a new Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac with no limits. So every time you use it, you're not just shopping for goods. You're shopping for something great. Learn more at buypowercard.com.
Here's a good one, Seattle. What did Geico say to the Mariner? We could save you a boatload. But what's Seattle's favourite noise? The Puget Sound. All right, never mind. Don't matter. This is a classic. What does an alien seamstress sew with? A space needle. Oh, come off it, Captain.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Imagine the luxury of not being here. The power you want with the fuel economy you dream of. Performance with a conscience. This is Volvo, innovating for you.
This October, the Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets. Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, premiering October 5th on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, thunderstorms likely, low 73. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain 80%. Saturday, scattered showers or thunderstorms, high 86. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The buzz on Fat Guys in the Woods. The Weather Channel's hit survival series is getting bigger and bigger. Victory! A new episode Sunday night at 10 on the Weather Channel.
I have a cold. It took NyQuil, but I'm still stuffed up.
NyQuil Cold and Flu liquid gels don't unstuff your nose.
Really?
Alka-Seltzer Plus Night rushes relief to 8 symptoms of a full-blown cold, including your stuffy nose.
Oh, what a relief it is. Thanks.
Anytime.
Lowe's presents how to install a new washing machine with one finger.
Maybe a little more that way.
Nice.
Now get 10% off all major appliances, $3.99 and above.
Claritin D presents 2 allergy sufferers. One tried Nasacort, which could take up to a week to feel maximum nasal symptom relief. The other took Claritin D, which starts to work on allergies in 30 minutes. The moral, nothing works faster than Claritin D.
You owned your car for 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad, and then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls, and you break into your happy dance.
If you sign up for Better Car Replacement, we'll pay for a car that's a model year newer with 15,000 fewer miles than your old one. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
There's gangs of 20, 30 men in trucks with machetes just going around backing themselves up to people's houses and raiding the houses with or without the people being there.
Well, crime on the streets in and around Cabo, hard hit earlier this week by Hurricane Odile. And Mexico's president visited the areas affected, stressing the need for public order. Well, in fact, the U.S. State Department has told travelers to get to Los Cabos International Airport and wait as long as it takes to get out of there. Now, here's the very latest coming out of Mexico right now. Today is day 5 with no running water and utilities in many areas also not in place. Residents are now building bonfires in neighborhoods to deter looting. Now, in response to crime, Mexican police say they will aggressively enforce the law. Now, it is estimated that as many as 8,000 tourists and residents have been evacuated since that hurricane made landfall. Kelly?
Well, Paul, the devastation is preventing a lot of people from even getting to the airports in order to be evacuated. Earlier today, we spoke with storm chaser Josh Morgerman about his experience and what it took to get home.
The airport was just totally leveled, like the control tower gone, the terminal blown down. So it was like, okay, that airport is gone. Just totally collapsed on that building. Another big store over there blown down. The city looks like a war zone, and we're just trying to find our way out now. We're going to go to La Paz. We've heard mixed rumors. Some people say it's worse. Some people say it's better than here. We'll find out. So we got up to La Paz. A lot of other people had the same idea as us, and it was just basically loaded with American and foreign tourists desperately trying to get out.
It does not look good. And a desperate attempt to get handwritten tickets to get to Tijuana. It's just a mob.
That was a tough situation. A lot of tourist families with kids stuck in that airport for 24, 48 hours, sleeping on the floor without a lot of food, no air conditioning, very tough conditions, elderly people fainting, children just having a hard time. I mean, this is really serious stuff, and people starting to get really angry. It was getting pretty ugly when we got out of there, and we just hope that everyone's getting out, because it just became an increasingly dire situation.
Did you enjoy Hurricane Odile? Okay, all right. Well, we're finally headed out of here. We're getting on a flight from La Paz. It's very awesome.
Boy, seeing the destruction on the ground really puts it in perspective. The Cabo Marina was hit hard as well, with boats just jostled around at the docks, and some people took refuge along the beach in homes that were built stronger to resist hurricane-strength winds. And one of those people, actress and model Angie Everhart.
As she describes the moment the hurricane hit, with winds threatening to blow the doors right off the home she was taking shelter in.
The wind was blowing so hard that the doors, which were about 11 feet tall, were blowing in and out about 3 feet. And my fiance, who's about 200 and some pounds, was holding the doors, and they were pulling him in and out. They took 2 men to hold the doors, so they were barricading the doors. They were breaking chairs and sticking sticks inside the doors. The destruction was unbelievable. I mean, my bathroom window exploded, and we had shards of glass that were in the wooden frame. The storm was it caused so much devastation that to get to from where we were to get to the airport was normally about 15 minutes. It took us over an hour to get to the airport, because you had to drive. I mean, you were driving over power lines. There were things power lines were down all over the place. The energy plants, the 2 that were in the area, blew up completely.
Wow. Well, on the heels of Odile, the Baja Peninsula is keeping a very close eye on Polo.
It is a weaker storm. It's tracking westward. We'll have the latest in our tropical update next.
Why is it smart to talk to farmers for your auto insurance? Because we believe that doing things right is more important than just doing them fast. And because we don't want you to miss out on things like accident forgiveness, where we forgive an accident every 3 years without raising your rates. Talk to farmers and get the coverage you want, not just the coverage that's fast.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Call us today at 1-800-FARMERS. Brought to you by Farmers. Get smarter at farmers.com.
Listen up, Thunder Dragons. It's time to get a hotel.
Hey, Razor, check this out. We can save big with Priceline Express deals.
You know what, man? These guys ain't no dragons. They're cool. These deals are legit.
Hey, we're cool.
She's cool. We're cool.
It's not every day that you find yourself at the corner of a little flu shot and a world of difference. When you get any immunization at Walgreens, you'll help provide a life-saving vaccine to a child in a developing country through the UN Foundation's Shot at Life campaign. Thanks to customers like you, last year we helped supply 3 million vaccines to children in need. This year, help give even more. It's easy at Walgreens. Simply get a shot and give a shot. At the corner of happy and healthy.
California is known for its grapes, and so is my family. Our grapes ripen on the vine where the flavor's fully developed to bring the best quality fruit to your table. That's why we work with Walmart, so you get the freshest grapes available, backed by their 100% money-back guarantee.
Cooper engineers its tires not just for performance, but real-life performance. So before you get in, get going. Get gone. You need to get a tire that gets you, because life's a road trip. Come on, let's go. Buy 4 qualifying Cooper tires and get up to a $70 prepaid card by mail. See retailer for details.
This October, the Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets. Every Sunday, a new tale.
My husband worked at a power plant where the asbestos fell like snow.
My dad got mesothelioma from asbestos.
Oh, the diagnosis was devastating.
We chose Cooney and Conway because they're highly experienced in this area.
They were more than lawyers. They were human beings.
There was no money up front.
It showed my sons that there is justice in the world.
Call 1-800-322-5573. Cooney and Conway. Justice with a passion.
If you had $1 for every dollar car insurance companies say they'll save you by switching, you'd have like a ton of dollars. But how are they saving you those dollars? A lot of companies might answer or no comment. Then there's Esurance, born online, raised by technology, and majors in efficiency. So whatever they save, you save. Hassle, time, paperwork, hair tearing out, and yes, especially dollars. Esurance, insurance for the modern world. Now backed by Allstate. Click or call.
1000. Ready for a new breed of broker? There's a name for people like you. Trade King. Switch today.
7 a.m. on AMHQ. Let's get you in front of today's weather. The biggest weather hour anywhere. What a gorgeous start. Weekday mornings on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 73. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain 60%. Saturday, heavy thunderstorms, high 86. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It's the last Friday of summer, heading into the last weekend of summer. Let's get your 7-day forecast, get you into the beginning of fall as we head across the lower 48. So tomorrow, Saturday, concern here in the red, strong and severe thunderstorms stretching from St. Louis to Kansas City and then pushing eastward up towards Chicago, even Ann Arbor, Grand Rapids, Detroit. You could see severe weather tomorrow. Hail, damaging wind, huge concerns. And yeah, still temperatures get to 80 before the storms come through here in the Chicago area. Still some showers here in Texas. Moving on towards Sunday, the Northeast is nice on Saturday. Sunday, get your outdoor activity done early along the I-95 corridor. The same storms across the Midwest are now pushing across the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley, heading into the Northeast throughout the day. So maybe some sunshine for sunrise, but by the afternoon hours, you got clouds, maybe even showers already pushing into Philly and D.C. and New York as well. So definitely keep an eye to the sky there. More rain continues in Texas. By Monday, more showers here across the western high plains. Even Denver seeing a few scattered showers. The Northeast northeast, holding on a few showers, and temperatures start to cool from the mid-80s to the lower 80s in the Atlanta area, and plenty of sunshine and dry weather across the Great Lakes. 74 for the Twin Cities, 70 for a high Monday in Chicago. Southwest is starting to warm up, 100 degrees in Phoenix. As we head towards Tuesday, we're starting to dry out much of the southwest, but look what happens. The northwest, we start seeing some clouds and, yes, even some rain showers here in Seattle. That'll cool your temperatures down. Sunday could see 85 in Seattle. That is well above average, starting to get towards average with that rain coming in by the middle of the week. Middle of the country on Wednesday, seeing a few scattered showers heading on towards the Twin Cities. Now we're starting to cool down the northeast and New England. 62 in Boston for a high on Wednesday. And now there's more rain here in the northwest from Seattle to Portland, even down maybe to the Bay Area. A better chance as you head, say, north of Vallejo. Otherwise, more rain showers here across the Midwest, and the Ohio Valley is dry. As you head towards Thursday, so looking at some dry weather across much of the northeast and New England. A few scattered showers in the southeast, and the unsettled weather continues in the northwest, even as we head towards next Friday. Kelly?
Well, Paul, this is the time of year where we usually look at the Atlantic for tropical development, but right now we're having to look elsewhere. Our hurricane specialist Michael Lowry joins us now from the lab with what we are tracking. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Kelly. Yeah, we're watching Tropical Storm Polo in the eastern Pacific. It's not regained its former hurricane status, and the good news is the trends are west and away from the Baja Peninsula. But I want to start you here in the Gulf of Mexico and just off the east coast of the United States, because there's a big mess right there, and some of our computer models hitting that maybe we could see some sort of coastal development this weekend. So I want to step you through this. All of this associated with a frontal boundary, a cold front that stalled out and pushed into the Gulf of Mexico and dangling into the western Atlantic. Now, one of our computer models, I'll show you this one, showing basically that a wave of low pressure, a wave in the atmosphere, is going to sort of form along this stalled frontal boundary and then try to develop off the east coast of the United States. Now, this is tomorrow. We don't expect this to be a tropical system, meaning that it's getting a lot of its energy from processes going on in the upper part of the atmosphere, not from the warm ocean waters there off the east coast, but they are warm. So anytime you get a frontal boundary, anytime you get an area of low pressure, you want to pay a close attention to it this time of year because it could form into something tropical. But the bottom line, I think, if you're living in the Carolinas here, it's going to be sort of a wet day tomorrow. You're going to have a strong northeasterly flow around this area of low pressure. There is high pressure nosing down into the southeast part of the U.S. from the mid-Atlantic and from the northeast, and the difference between the low pressure and the high pressure is what creates the wind, something we call a pressure gradient. So those winds are going to be pretty brisk and onshore. The elevated rip currents and the possibility for some minor, say, coastal flooding here in parts of South Carolina and even along the Outer Banks of North Carolina. This is Sunday afternoon. It's not really going to pull all the way out until Sunday evening. Just not really a good weekend to go to the beach. Also, even when the weather pulls out, keep in mind the rip current risk can be elevated. So I promise you the weather's going to get better, but you have to wait until the middle part of the week. Here's the rainfall forecast: 1 to 2 inches, 2 to 3 inches. Not a whole lot of rainfall, just a few inches, enough to make for a gray weekend, unfortunately, if your weekend plans were going to the beach. Elsewhere in the tropics, we are watching, as I mentioned, Polo. I want to talk quickly about this disturbance in the eastern Atlantic coming off the coast. This is the time of year that usually these disturbances try to form into tropical depressions and tropical storms. The disturbances that come off the coast of Africa are often the ones that are the seedlings for our strongest tropical cyclones, but in this case, Kelly and Paul, not expecting any development here. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Michael. Well, we're still tracking rain that is drenching portions of Texas right now.
It's causing some serious problems. Think that mail will get delivered tonight? We'll have a look at where more flooding is still possible right after your local on the 8s.
Rich, chewy caramel, rolled up in smooth milk chocolate.
All aboard.
Rolo, get your smooth on.
Am I missing a deadline? Will I get there in time? Am I going too fast? Did I close the garage door? Stay in your lane. I don't think I sent that email. I should make a reservation. I thought it was clear. Okay, break. I didn't see that coming.
Its instinct to protect leaves you free to drive. Lease the Infiniti Q50 for $339 a month. Visit your local Infiniti retailer.
Peter,
Say hello to the Grand Marshal of the National Ice Cream Cone Day Parade.
Oh, okay, hello. There's no such thing as that. There's just half-price cones today.
But there could be such a thing as a parade. You would probably like that.
No, I don't like parades.
Pete said there's no parade. Parade's off.
Well, I didn't realize everybody
No, you said no parade.
Maybe we could squeeze in a little parade.
We're back on!
Celebrate National Ice Cream Cone Day with half-price ice cream cones on September 22nd. This is how you Sonic.
Want to know how hard it can be to breathe with COPD? It can feel like this. COPD includes chronic bronchitis and emphysema. Spiriva is a once-daily inhaled COPD maintenance treatment that helps open my airways for a full 24 hours. You know, Spiriva helps me breathe easier.
Spiriva Handihaler Tiotropium Bromide Inhalation Powder does not replace rescue inhalers for sudden symptoms. Tell your doctor if you have kidney problems, glaucoma, trouble urinating, or an enlarged prostate. These may worsen with Spiriva. Discuss all medicines you take, even eye drops. Stop taking Spiriva and seek immediate medical help if your breathing suddenly worsens, your throat or tongue swells, you get hives, vision changes or eye pain, or problems passing urine. Other side effects include dry mouth and constipation.
Nothing can reverse COPD. Spiriva helps me breathe better.
Does breathing with COPD weigh you down? Don't wait to ask your doctor about Spiriva Handihaler.
Right on cue.
It's more than just a meal. It's Meow Mix Mealtime. With great taste and 100% complete nutrition, it's the only one cats ask for by name.
Look younger in 8 weeks. I prefer today. Clairol Age Defy Color Collection. With our best breakthrough gray coverage. Lustrous, radiant color that looks 10 years younger. Today. Age Defy Color from Clairol.
This October, the Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets. Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural. Premiering October 5th on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under cloudy skies.
The buzz on Fat Guys in the Woods, the Weather Channel's hit survival series, is getting bigger and bigger. Victory! A new episode Sunday night at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Well, you really couldn't drive around Houston today without seeing signs of flooding, overflowing creeks, roads underwater, school buses not able to make it through the floodwaters. But in Central Texas, many people there say, well, they are cursed every time it rains. Much more on that coming up in just a few minutes. Hey, welcome back to Weather Center Live, this Friday edition of Weather Center Live. I'm Paul Goodlow.
And I'm Kelly Cass. We've had a little bit too much rain in some areas, parts of the southeast, but also in West Texas. And that's where the flood risk is greatest tonight.
Yeah, let's show you what we're watching here, because we're still watching showers and thunderstorms popping up all across Texas here. And, you know, it doesn't look that bad on the radar, but here's the thing. We've seen way too much rain. Many areas 6-8 inches of rain over the last couple of days. And the week before that, we had some heavy rain as well. So it might take just a glass full of water to cause more flood concerns as well. And because of that, look at all the flood watch areas here, much of West Texas into the Panhandle and all around the Houston area. Flash flood watch, because again, it is just very soggy right now.
And you know, Austin, Texas, about a 3-hour drive from Houston, and it's home to a rather interesting weather myth.
Now, this is one that may actually have some science to support it. Meteorologist Carl Parker explains the I-35 curse.
Floodwaters ripped through Austin, Texas this week, just like they did in 2013 and 2011. You'd think that would be good news for a city fighting their worst drought in recorded history.
We're just that one big rainstorm away, and everything will be okay.
But you'd be wrong. This water is long gone.
The majority of that water all drained into the Colorado River here in Austin and then has gone downstream. It's headed toward the Gulf of Mexico.
Locals call it the I-35 curse.
Many times we'll see storms develop along the I-35 corridor, along the escarpment, and then track to the east. So areas from I-35 eastward tend to get a lot of rain, where areas to the west don't get as much.
Austin needs that rain to fall west of I-35 and fill their lakes. When it falls to the east of 35, it's gone.
I think one of the images that's most scary to me is the trickle of flow that's coming into Buchanan that literally is the water supply for 1 million people.
But is there really a curse?
Well, it's not quite that simple.
John Nielsen Gammon is the Texas state climatologist.
That's the place where basically the terrain in Texas starts becoming interesting. You go from fairly flat coastal plains to what we call the Texas Hill Country. And so there's an extra bit of uplift for any air that's moving from the southeast.
The I-35 corridor really parallels what's called the Balcones Escarpment, and that's sort of a gentle rise in the landscape of about 300 to 500 feet.
500 feet, separating millions of people from valuable drinking water.
And that was Carl Parker reporting, and it's really hard to argue with the science as well as the results of all that. And take a look at this heavy rain event from yesterday. You can certainly see I-35 running right through Austin and just how much rain fell to the east of the interstate. And to add insult to injury, let's zoom on in. Those darker orange colors, that's where we had the heaviest rain just south of drought-stricken Lake Travis. And right now the majority of that rainwater is quickly making its way to the Gulf and not to the taps of the people in Austin. But hopefully, Paul, we did see some benefit from some of this heavy rain.
Yeah, Lake Travis did actually go up 2 feet the last couple of days, so some of that rain was beneficial, most of it not, though. But also, let's show you how much rain has fallen across Texas in the past 24 hours. Out towards western Texas, some areas over 9 inches of rain. Houston, even up towards Austin, between 5 and 6 inches of rain, and hence all the flood concerns there. And here's the forecast. We're still looking at that bullseye of really heavy rain, maybe 3 to 5 or more inches out towards West Texas, towards the Panhandle, and even towards the Big Bend area. We're also going to see quite a bit of rain this weekend. Well, this football season, we are headed to 12 towns in 12 weeks, with a stop today in Prattville, Alabama, ranked as one of the top 10 best high school football towns in America.
And these days, the Prattville Lions are the team to beat in Autauga County, but as Jim Cantori tells us, it wasn't always that way.
About the middle of July, when one of those afternoon showers come through and you can feel a nip in the air, your baseball team's in last place, and you say, oh man, it's football time.
Prattville, Alabama, a slice of Americana just outside of Montgomery. Very few remnants remain of the EF3 tornado that cut through here 6 years ago. What you can see is the town's love for football. Come Friday night, all eyes turn to Prattville High School, home of the Prattville Lions.
It's so strong within the town, how much they love football. It's just amazing.
I've been in the playoffs before where we show up at a playoff game and we have more fans than the home team in a playoff game.
Each week you'll see pep rallies, posters of opposing players, and busloads of fans.
They love football in this town. They always have.
But few love it more than longtime sports writer and statistician Jimmy White.
No. There's a lot of them that love football as much as I do. It's just that I've been with them so much.
Jimmy never played sports, but he's recorded the stats for the Lions for more than 60 of their 100 seasons.
Jimmy White, he's been on the sidelines forever. I can remember him being on our sidelines when I played, and even before that.
I love to be a part of like a big team, and like on Friday nights, like I can care less, you know, how many catches I get. As long as we win, that's all I'm happy about.
For 70 years, the state championship had eluded the Prattville Lions until 1984.
And we walked out on that field, and this was the first Saturday in December, and it was like it was springtime. The sun was out, and it was beautiful. It wasn't cold or nothing. I said, this is our day. And we won 17-7. And by the time we got back to Prattville, downtown Prattville looked like it had snowed. There was so much confetti and signs all over it. State champs. That was a good time. First one. The first one.
Since then, the Lions have won 4 more state championships. And Jimmy is still on the sidelines recording their stats.
It's a nostalgic feeling, really and truly, to watch. And I see a kid play, and I said, golly, I remember his daddy playing. And it makes you realize the shortness of life. Makes you feel a little bit happy, a little bit like you accomplished something. All those years, it's been great to be from Prattville.
Tonight, the Prattville Lions will be celebrating their 30th anniversary of their first state championship and honoring that 1984 team.
And they will also be honoring a former NFL player and Prattville alum, Kevin Turner, who is actually battling ALS. Now, the school will present a check to the National ALS organization in his honor.
And right behind us, we got the forecast. Prattville, Alabama, tonight, 7 o'clock Central Time. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, great weather for football. Hey, all right, the high school kids play on Friday night. What about Saturday? That's when the college kids play. Let's check out some of the college football forecast going on for Saturday.
And we're going to start things off the Georgia Tech game as they had a little bit of trouble getting to Blacksburg, by the way, due to light rain and some fog. Their flight got diverted to Greensboro, and then 2 aborted landings in Roanoke, by the way. But there you see the forecast in Blacksburg. It looks great. Lots of sunshine as they take on Virginia Tech Hokies, and temperatures in the 60s. And here's another game in Tallahassee.
Yeah, we're talking about the Clemson Tigers coming in to take in the Florida State Seminoles, and their Heisman-winning quarterback for Florida State is suspended for the first half of the game, so could impact the game. Yeah.
Stay with us. We've got another look at your tropical update and preparing you for disaster as well.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 73. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain 60%. Saturday, heavy thunderstorms, high 86. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Lowe's presents How to Work Out the Triceps.
Wow. Impress your guests. Your Choice bathroom faucets, now just $59 at Lowe's.
Hands were made for talking. Feet, tiptoeing. Better things than the pain, stiffness, and joint damage of moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis. Before you and your rheumatologist decide on a biologic, ask if Xeljanz is right for you. Xeljanz tofacitinib is a small pill, not an injection or infusion, for adults with moderate to severe RA for whom methotrexate did not work well. Xeljanz can relieve RA symptoms and help stop further joint damage. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers have happened in patients taking Xeljanz. Don't start Xeljanz if you have any infection, unless okay with your doctor. Tears in the stomach or intestines, low blood cell counts, and higher liver tests and cholesterol levels have happened. Your doctor should perform blood tests before you start and while taking Xeljanz, and routinely check certain liver tests. Tell your doctor if you have been to a region where fungal infections are common, and if you have had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take. 1 pill, twice daily. Xeljanz can reduce RA pain and help stop further joint damage, even without methotrexate. Ask about Xeljanz.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm on it. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Kevin.
Thanks, Melinda.
I have blah blah insurance, so person, come help.
Hey, Grandma. Dad, look who it is.
I see who it is.
6 callers ahead of us, Jimmy.
You're not helping.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you anytime, anywhere, anyway. That's getting to a better state.
Boston Market has food that makes you feel good, starting at $5.99, with salads and sandwiches, market bowls, and your favorite meals, all featuring our signature rotisserie chicken. Come to Boston Market today, where good food meets fresh thinking.
In case of an emergency, I can always use my Lifeline cell phone to call for help.
SafeLink, the free phone program, free cell, free text, and free minutes is your connection to safety. If you qualify for programs such as SNAP, you are eligible for 250 free minutes and 1,000 free texts each month. Plus, new customers apply now and get 500 minutes for the first 3 months.
With SafeLink, my family can feel secure when I am alone.
Call 1-800-SafeLink or visit safelink.com.
Sometimes our co-pilots lead us. They inspire us to try new things, to push our boundaries, and live life to the fullest. At Petco, we like to do the same for our pets. It's why we're so selective about the food we offer, like Purina Pro Plan, nutrition that performs. Now 10% off entire stock for a limited time. Because when our companions live well, so do we. Petco, the power of together.
We always have the right hotel in the right place at the right time. 12 brands, more hotels than anyone else in the world. Like Ramada. You do your thing, leave the rest to us. Save up to 15% and earn bonus points when you book at WyndhamRewards.com.
The 6-cylinder, 8-speed Lexus GS with more standard horsepower than any of its German competitors. This is a wake-up call.
Well, whether it's a major hurricane, tornado outbreak, earthquake, or pandemic, Richard Reid was one of the first summoned to the White House to brief and guide President Obama through a crisis.
Now, Reid served as a special assistant to the president for Homeland Security, and now he's taken those resiliency skills to the American Red Cross. His mission? To get the Red Cross and all Americans better prepared for the future.
Mother Nature is just, it's a force that can change everything.
Richard Reid. He's fairly new to the American Red Cross, but no stranger to disaster. He's been serving the public in one form or another for over 20 years. Almost 7 of those years were spent at the White House on the Homeland Security Council, where he first met President Obama.
I'm standing there, literally standing at the desk, and I'm looking around the room because this is really cool. And the photographer's taking pictures, and I look out of the corner of my eye. Dennis McDonough looks at me, and he just goes, write something. So I grabbed my thing. I was like, okay. And literally, I just wrote, write something, because Dennis told you to write something. You know, it was just
Reid would have many more meetings with the president, and soon became known as the go-to guy when disaster strikes.
What I can tell you that I'm always amazed by, whether they be Valonia, Mayflower in Arkansas, whether they be Moore, Oklahoma, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Haiti, Japan, is the capacity of people to help one another.
While at the White House, Reid created national policy on how the government prepared, responded, and recovered from catastrophes. And now he's continuing his mission of resiliency in his role as head of disaster cycle services at the American Red Cross.
A resilient nation to me is a nation that is prepared for the things that are most likely to happen, have a capacity to respond quickly to those things when they do happen, and can quickly recover from those things. And by recovering, I mean we don't want to return to the same scenario we had before the event. We want to turn to a better scenario.
And that was the case in Oklahoma. With Reid's leadership, the Red Cross and their partners helped in the development of 6,000 additional storm shelters. Although he realizes there's still a long way to go.
People in Oklahoma know more about tornadoes than anybody else in the world. And yet every year that state is impacted in horrible ways. People continue to die. So then the question is, are we done with our preparedness activities? I'd say no. And how do you know when you're done? I don't think you're ever done with it. I think you just keep evolving how you think about it.
For the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Mike Bettis.
By the way, Reed says he wants everyone to do these 3 things today. First of all, if you don't have an emergency plan, make one. Talk with your family and loved ones about that plan. And also, number 3, make sure you have an emergency kit.
And if you create your emergency plan right now on connectwithweather.com, you can get a free preparedness kit while supplies last.
A little bit of incentive for you, but it really is so important to keep you and your family safe. Right now, it's time for our top 5. We're going to take a look at some pretty amazing weather video from all over the world.
Yeah, and check this out. Time-lapse video captured from the National Weather Service office in Reno as smoke from the King Fire moved into downtown yesterday.
The time-lapse really showing how it moved in. Number 4, southeastern New Mexico hit with serious flash flooding, all courtesy of what was a tropical system in the East Pacific. And boy, we had some problems getting around. A lot of road closures, not just in New Mexico, but Arizona.
Yeah, that was near Ruidoso. All right, video number 3 today. And Manila, the thriller, was full. Had a lot of heavy rain hitting Manila right now, all thanks to Tropical Storm Mario. It approached several provinces across the Philippines, and streets, as you see, were submerged, at times almost waist-deep water, trapping vehicles and pedestrians as well.
All right, new video. Check this out of a rare deep-sea creature known as a siphonophore. I think that's how you say it. A siphonophore is not just one animal. It's a living colony made up of many individual organisms working together, and the creatures are related to jellyfish, by the way.
Portuguese man of war, dangerous creature, also a siphonophore, or whatever it is. Number 1 video is, this is really cool. This is a time-lapse of the removal of the Glines Canyon Dam on the Elwha River in the Olympic National Park in Washington.
Yeah, pretty cool there. You know, Elwha River, by the way, now runs through there, and there's a habitat for fish and wildlife that has been restored.
And they just spotted some salmon in there.
Love salmon.
Yeah.
My favorite food.
Good eats.
Upload your video, weather.com/photos. Tropical update next.
Salmon.
Guys, you're not going to believe this.
Watch this. Sam always gives you the good news in person, bad news in email.
Good news. FedEx has flat rate shipping. It's called FedEx One Rate, and it's affordable.
Yeah. That's great news.
And we have to work the weekend. Great.
More good news. It's Friday.
Woo! Ship a pack via FedEx Express Saver for as low as $7.50.
Maybe you didn't know, people with the flu can spread it up to 6 feet away. Or that flu can make chronic conditions worse. Maybe you didn't know any of the stuff your Rite Aid pharmacist knows. But now that you've gotten your flu shot at Rite Aid, maybe you don't need to.
I'm Creek Stewart, Weather Channel survival expert. Every Sunday night, we're taking 3 regular guys deep into the woods.
Are you serious?
Where we'll teach them not just to survive,
make fire,
but how to truly live.
Look at this caveman. Show yourself what you're made of on Weather Channel Survival Sundays. At 9, it's So You Think You'd Survive. Then at 10, Fat Guys in the Woods. Every Sunday night on the Weather Channel.
Are you ready? Off the couch, into the weather.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 73. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain 60%. Saturday, heavy thunderstorms, high 86. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Get up to 20% off and 1,000 rewards points at bestwestern.com with a swipe, a tap, or a click. Get up to 20% off and enjoy breakfast, free high-speed internet, and 1,000 rewards points only at bestwestern.com.
If you have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis like me, and you're talking to your rheumatologist about a biologic, This is Humira. This is Humira helping to relieve my pain. This is Humira helping me lay the groundwork. This is Humira helping to protect my joints from further damage. Doctors have been prescribing Humira for 10 years. Humira works by targeting and helping to block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to RA symptoms. Humira is proven to help relieve pain and stop further joint damage in many adults.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Take the next step. Talk to your doctor and visit Humira.com. This is Humira at work.
Pillsbury knows that bold, bright color makes everything more exciting. Like these 4 amazing colors of Pillsbury Funfetti that turn everyday moments into celebrations of delicious fun. Celebrate more vibrantly.
What if there was a credit card where the reward was that new car smell and the freedom of the open road? A card that gave you that I'm 16 and just got my first car feeling. Presenting the Buy Power card from Capital One. Redeem earnings toward part or even all of a new Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac with no limits. So
lose weight just in time for the holidays.
Start now and lose up to 20 pounds by New Year's. That's like 2 dress sizes.
I'm Marie, and I lost 50 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Get a jump start with Fast 5. Lose 5 pounds in your first week or your money back guaranteed.
I never get tired of my friends saying, "You look amazing." I'm Erin, and I lost 30 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Order your 28-day My Way plan, now with limited-time seasonal favorites, and you'll get Fast 5, including 1 week of specially designed meals. Plus, you'll also get 1 week of energizing shakes and 1 week of Craving Crusher shakes free.
I'm Michelle, and I lost 41 pounds. It feels absolutely amazing to look in the mirror and know that that beautiful woman looking back is me.
There's never been a better time to get started.
Don't wait. Lose up to 20 pounds by New Year's. That's like 2 dress sizes.
Call 888-649-SIZE now.
1000. Ready for a new breed of broker? There's a name for people like you. Trade King. Switch today.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, promoting October 5th on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. I'm in the lab with our hurricane specialist, Michael Lowry. And boy, all the activity lately has been in the Eastern Pacific, but we've still seen some impact here in our country.
Yeah, we have. This is our 11th tropical storm in the Eastern Pacific, Kelly. This is Polo. The good news with this one, or the 11th, it was the 11th hurricane, but it's also our 16th named storm. The good news with this one is it hasn't gotten any better organized today.
Not nearly as strong as Odile was when it made landfall in Cabo just about a week ago.
No, but the tropical storm watches are up for the coast from La Paz around. That includes Cabo San Lucas. That means tropical storm conditions are possible here over the next 24 to 36 hours. The bulk of this, though, the core of this is going to stay offshore. We're pretty confident with that at this point.
And that's good news because Cabo, you saw the devastation from Odile.
Yes.
I mean, they're still picking up the pieces.
Look, even tropical storm winds would be bad, you know, when you're trying to clean up after a big hurricane like that. Look at it. It's just not that organized right now. There's some strong easterly winds at the upper levels of the atmosphere. That's blowing most of the cloud tops this way. And in fact, Kelly, we have a lot of data from our satellites, and it's a little bit difficult to actually find where the center of circulation is. It's somewhere in here, but we're seeing more of the higher cloud tops, less of the very strong, tall cloud tops that you would see with a more organized system.
Anybody flying into it to get data?
We had hurricane hunters that were flying into it yesterday, but we haven't had a plane in there in the last few hours at least.
But you're right. Looking at satellite technology, you can definitely still clearly see the path and kind of which way it's going.
And we do have have satellites that allow us to see underneath those cloud tops to sort of see the structure of the rain bands, and the structure of it just not that well organized. About 240 miles to the south of Cabo. The tropical storm winds extend out about 100 miles, so they'll probably stay offshore, but you could get 20-30 mile per hour wind gusts in Cabo during the day tomorrow into the overnight hours.
All right, now talk about the water temperatures, because Odile really hugged the coastline here and stayed in those warmer waters, allowing it to intensify, but not so much with this one.
This is really interesting because look at the water temperatures. This was a week ago, and you could see near 90-degree water temperatures here right along the coast, mid-80s. This is the fuel that Odile had to work with, but fast forward and watch as these water temperatures begin to cool. There are a few things going on. Odile really did help to cool the water temperatures, especially up here. So now there's less fuel in the ocean for Polo to work with. So it has the strong winds at the upper levels, and it has cooler water temperatures as well. So both working in tandem to keep this a weaker storm than Odile was.
Thank goodness.
Here's the forecast track. The cone stays offshore, but remember the cone is just telling us where we think the center of the storm will go. So the effects, the impacts are possible outside of that cone. But because we have an easterly wind, east to west flowing wind, most of the convection, most of the winds are going to be on the western side of it. That is great news. If those winds weren't so strong, this might be a more symmetrical system.
Maybe an outer rain band up as far as Cabo?
Yeah, absolutely.
Possibly?
Could get some squally weather. As I said, mainly tomorrow into the overnight hours and on Sunday. So let's talk about what else is happening. We were watching Edouard, Kelly. This one, now what we call post-tropical. It's right here. There aren't any thunderstorms with it, just a low swirl of clouds. But at one point, this was a major hurricane. This was a Category 3 hurricane. It was the first Category 3 hurricane we've seen in the Atlantic in almost 2 years, since Hurricane Sandy back in 2012. And you asked about the hurricane hunters. They were actually flying into the storm when it was a major hurricane and taking some pretty awesome photographs. So I want to show you this. This is inside the eye of Hurricane Edouard. It's a beautiful shot. It's not a completely cloud-free eye. There's some low clouds down here, but the eye is right here. And then look as the clouds go up, the stadium effect around the eye of the hurricane. This is what we call the eye wall, which is just the wall of the worst weather, the wall of the worst winds that completely surround the eye of the hurricane. So
staying out at sea, but great to look at from afar.